Good afternoon. Welcome.
Okay. Thank you very much for granting us this interview.
It's always a pleasure.
Okay. So, sir, the first question I'll be asking is, can you kindly introduce your skill and the real world applications?
Okay. Good afternoon for coming to me for this session. My name is Isaac Kolade of formerly Southwest Unit University of Glory, but now I'm in the Department of Animal Production, Faculty of Agriculture, University of Glory. My skill is production of broilers. That's tech skill 10, production of broilers. By introduction, broiler is part of the poultry, as you all know, and poultry, they are birds that are raised for economic benefit. Now, poultry science is the study of principle and practice of production, processing, and marketing of poultry and its products. These skills promote employability and enhance hands-on skill training for undergraduate students, and it also creates jobs for different category of people outside the school environment. It's a skill that brings economic benefit to people. It provides quality food for people. It enhances or increases the income for the people. These skills, production of broilers, is used particularly in this academic environment for research purposes. The product of this broiler can also serve as raw materials for the industrial product. And finally, the byproduct of this poultry or broiler production serve as a good organic material for the cultivation of crops. You can see the university we are sitting on 15,000 hectares of land. So if we desire to go into crop production, the byproduct of these skills can serve as organic material. Okay, so the skill, as I've said, is a hands-on skill training program which provides employability and capacity building for the students in the higher institution of learning. And the skills it provides competence and skills that can compete favorably in the real world of work. That means after you might have graduated from this school, you can compete in the labor market. Okay, so it's a skill that is very, very important, very important. So particularly in this trying time that our country is facing, our country is in the face of economic downturn. Okay, so if you have this skill with you, you can be able to navigate and leverage the advantage embedded in this skill. It is evident that the production of meat and egg are yet to meet the nutritional requirement of the people of Nigeria. And for us to survive, we need protein. So the meat and egg from these broilers, gotten from the existing farms, be it small, medium, and large scale, are yet to meet the nutritional requirement of the people. So there's need to do more. There's need to produce more. There's need for people to embrace this venture. And that's why we are teaching our students, so that at the end of their graduation, even from now, they can start with something. and be making their money.
Thank you very much, sir. The next question is, what are the basic requirements needed to learn this skill?
Okay, yes, as I've said, broiler production is a hands-on training and experience that we want the student to partake in it, in the training. So there is need for us to have the knowledge, the practical knowledge about the production system of broiler production system and management. Broiler production system and management. So there are some things that you need. One, the bed itself. A very good management of broiler. You must be able to get good beds from a reputable hatchery. Okay, that will have potential genetics, that will have disease resistant quality and rapid growth. So when you have the beds, fine. Secondly, you must consider the feeding nutritional requirements. Because you get beds from a very reputable farm and you don't feed them well, or you don't have good nutrients, good feed with good nutrients, then the bed will not grow very well. So you need to consider the nutritional requirements for the beds. What you need again, you need housing requirements. Okay, you have pen, okay, that has enough space for your beds. For instance, a bed requires 0.5 to 1 square feet. Okay, and you can start increasing it as the bed grows. So you have a house that has good ventilation, very important. Good ventilation, very, very important to maintain the temperature of the house. Okay. After that, you think about the temperature of the house is equally important. Temperature of the house is equally important. You think about the floor of the house, okay, and you think about the relative humidity of the house, okay. So these are the things you need to consider when you want to set up your housing facility. Then from there, you talk about after housing, you talk about the appliances and equipment that you use for the management of the bed. These are, talk about the feeders to feed the beds. You have different kind of feeders. You have hanging feeders, trough feeders, automatic feeders. We talk about the drinkers. You have, of course, trough, fountain drinkers. You have automatic drinkers where you use nipple. Okay, so you have the beakers where you debeak your beds to prevent fire service, to prevent cannibalism. So you need to put all these things in place. Then after, you need a brooding house. Okay, a brooding house is to raise your bed between 3 and 2 and 3 weeks of age. The birds need very warm environment and needs monitoring. It's very essential in the life of the bird. So there's need to provide that as well. Then the health management, you have to prevent the occurrence of disease by giving them vaccination and medication as at when due. So, and if you can do that, then I will mention the record keeping. You have to keep record, your inventory record, the production record, and your sales record. Because broilers is being produced for table meat. Okay, so you have to keep the record of your production, you have to keep the record of your sales. This will enable you to know if you are making profit or loss. It will enable you to make certain management decision. So that is it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. On to the next question. We have, how long does it typically take a complete beginner to become proficient?
Beginner, once you pay wrapped up attention to the training, within 3 months you should be able to know the nitty-gritty of the venture or of the business. So it doesn't take time to be well acquainted with what it takes to produce an efficient and profitable broiler.
What are the fundamental ABC steps in mastering this skill?
What are the
fundamental ABC steps in mastering this skill?
Mastering this skill? Yes, that's what I've said. That you should be able, of course, you should be able to know the do's and don'ts of this business. Okay, you must be able to get a very good bird that has a very genetic constitution, good genetic constitution. You must be able to prevent occurrence of disease. You must be able to give your birds good feed to meet up with their nutritional requirements. And you must be able to keep record. And you have to make sure you maintain good management practice. If you can do all this, be rest assured that you have a very good production of broilers.
Thank you, sir. Sir, are these material expensive or affordable for the average students?
The capital outlay? Yes, to a certain extent, the student should be able, in any business, you must start small, and you allow the business to grow big. You start small, you allow the business to grow big. Students can afford to buy $10 and start keeping them, okay? And at the end of 2 months, when they might have reached the target weight, hopefully between 2 and 3 kg, and you sell it, at the end of the day you go to get your money and recycle it into the business. Because this is a business that with a good management can yield high revenue for the investment within a reasonable period of time. So students should be able to do that.
Thank you very much, sir. Can this skill be learned fully online, or does it require physical practice?
It requires physical practice. Because, for instance, you can learn it online, but for you to be able to lay your hands on it, that's why we said it's a hands-on training. You should be able to lay your hands on it. So it requires physical training because, for instance, administering vaccine to prevent the occurrence of disease, you must be able to know how to administer the vaccine. We have 3 main ways of administering vaccine. You have orally, you get certain dose of vaccine, you dissolve it in certain water. You know, a bird should consume 2 meals of the dissolved vaccine. So you need to be trained on how to carry out this. Another method is subcutaneous method of administering vaccine. You should be able to know how to do that. And we have intramuscular. So without physical participation, it might be difficult for a student to be well acquainted with how we carry it out.
Thank you very much, sir. What is the structure of your training program? The module, duration, and milestone?
Yes, the duration for this training is normally 2 months. 8 weeks. But when before we get the birds from the hatchery, there are certain preparation that we need to make. You need to clear the environment, you need to clean the pen, you need to disinfect the pen as well. Okay, so to break the cycle of the disease that might be present in the pen. So then you now request for your day-old chicks. So from that day, it takes 6 to 8 weeks for the program. So it means that approximately 2 months for the training. So we use 2 months for the training. So, but we might require some days before to do all the cleaning I've said. Then maybe thereafter, after selling your birds, after processing and marketing of your birds, okay, that one should also take another days or week, 1 week or so. So if you add it together, you'll be talking about 2.5 months.
Thank you very much, sir. The next question is, what common challenges do beginner face when learning this skill?
Well, the skill itself is very technical. It's very technical. It requires technical know-how. So the students, I've said it earlier, need to pay rapt attention to this training, because you are rearing a live animal, so that you need to take care of them. You need to take care of them. You need to feed them on daily basis. You need to give them water on daily basis. You need to give them medication, vaccination program. You need to follow them. Okay, so as expected. So these are the things that if you fail to follow all these procedures, then the bird might come down with disease. So, which will not be good for the business.
Okay, sir. How do you help students to overcome these challenges?
That's the training. That's the training. We have to tell the students, inform the students what to do at certain period of time. You know, from the day one, we have time to go for everything. From the day one, give water, give vitamin. Day 7, give first gongoro. And day 14, give first lasota. Day 21, give second gongoro. Day 28, give second lasota. So, and you know, in between, you give vitamin, you give antibiotics. So you need to follow all this program for you to be able to overcome the challenges. And mostly the challenges that we do have in this business is the disease. When you have a certain disease and you find it difficult to prevent or to treat, it might wipe out the whole flock. So God forbid, but you need to prevent such occurrence. So
thank you, sir. What practical exercises or projects do you use to reinforce learning?
Again?
What practical exercises or projects do you use to reinforce learning?
Okay. You know, we have of course all the requirements in this training is practical. It's what you can see yourself. Okay, so we have the notes for these skills. Okay, we have already engaged students in the theoretical aspect of the course of the skill. Then you move down to the field, where you can see what you've been taught in class, how to get the birds physically, how to do everything with your hand. So we have that. Then we also have video clips that we can demonstrate, show our students this way is done as well. This is the standard way to do it. Okay, you know, sometimes you need to do certain, if you cannot have every facilities that is required. So sometimes we need to improvise.
The next question is, how can students build a strong portfolio or proof of competence with this skill?
Yes, that's why, you know, for instance, what we are doing now is that the tech, they are providing 600 beds for as a farm station to train the students. Okay, now the students themselves, they will now have a bed per student to be able to replicate the training they've gotten from the tech farm. Okay,
to replicate it and raise their own bed until they reach table size. So we will look at how they've been able to manage the beds, feed them, give them good water, fresh water, vaccinate, give them good medication. And at the end of the day, we weigh the beds to know the weight of the beds and compare it with the one we have at Tech Farm. So we are having two ways of training our children now. We train them on the Tech Farm, then we have the children to replicate the knowledge, the training they receive from Tech Farm.
Thank you very much, sir. Doctor, in your experience, what separates an average learner from an exceptional one?
Exceptional students, we do all that is required for him to have 100% skill acquisition. And exceptional students will do the right thing at the right time. An exceptional student will come to the farm. If you ask a student to be on the farm by 8, you will meet him there or her. And you will partake in every activity that you are doing carried out on a daily basis. And at the end of the day, he will be able to respond to any question or any activities that is required by that particular student. An average student will also be punctual, he will attend training, but he might not be able to upscale himself or herself to the level of exceptional students. Okay, so an average student will always follow the rules and regulations and obey whatever the trainer has asked him or her to do, but not up to that exceptional sort of work. So that's the way I can differentiate them.
So at what stage can a student start earning in the morning with this skill?
Yes, that's what I've said. That when you start raising your broilers with good feeding, good management practice, good vaccination and medication program, by 6 to 8 weeks, you should be able, when they reach their target weight, you should be able to start getting money. And I told you that this skill can generate high revenue for the investment. So whatever you spend, you will be able to recoup your money back by 6 to 8 weeks. By maximum 8 weeks. All things being equal.
Thank you, sir. The next question is, how can students build a strong portfolio or proof of competence with this skill?
Yes, that's why, for instance, what we are doing now is at the tech. They are providing 600 beds for as a farm station to train the students. Okay. Now the students themselves, they will now have a bed per student to be able to replicate the training they've gotten from the tech farm, okay, to replicate it and raise their own bed until they reach table size. So we will look at how they've been able to manage the beds, feed them, give them good water, fresh water, vaccinate, give them good medication. And at the end of the day, we will weigh the beds to know the weight of the beds and compare it with the one we have at Tech Farm. So we are having two ways of training our children now. We train them on the Tech Farm, then we have the children to replicate the knowledge, the training they receive from Tech Farm.
Thank you very much, sir. Doctor, in your experience, what separates an average learner from an exceptional one?
Yes, if an exceptional student, we do all that is required for him to have 100% skill acquisition. An exceptional student will do the right thing at the right time. An exceptional student will come to the farm. If you ask the student to be on the farm by 8, you will meet him there or her, and you will partake in every activity that you are being carried out on a daily basis. And at the end of the day, he will be able to respond to any question or any activities that is required by that particular student. An average student will also be punctual, will attend training, but might not be able to upscale himself or herself to the level of exceptional students. Okay, so an average student will always follow the rules and regulations and obey whatever the trainer has asked him or her to do, but not up to that exceptional student we're talking about. So that's the way I can differentiate them.
So at what stage can a student start earning in the morning with this skill?
Yes, that's what I've said. That after between when you start raising your broilers with good feeding, good management practice, good vaccination and medication program, by 6 to 8 weeks, you should be able, when they reach their target weight, you should be able to start getting money. And I told you that this skill can generate high revenue for the investment. So whatever you spend, you will be able to recoup your money back by 6 to 8 weeks. By maximum 8 weeks. All things being equal.
Thank you, sir. Can you give examples of successful students who now make money using this skill?
Yes, we have about 2-3 students that partook in this training last year, and I can confidently report that they've been into this business, and in fact, they even went ahead to add value to the business by processing the product, packaging it and selling it on campus right here. So I don't have their name with me now, but I know I have 2-3 of them.
My next question is, how profitable is this skill in the Nigerian environment or global market?
This skill is very profitable, very lucrative. Because as I've said earlier, that from the existing farms around us, the product from the farm, eggs, meat, have not reached the nutritional requirements of the people around us. So there's no way, whatever you produce now, if you add value to it, there's no way you can meet demand of the people around us, not to talk of exporting the product. So there's a ready-made market for both eggs and meat, particularly meat that we're talking about. So at the end of the 8 weeks or 6 weeks, you be rest assured that if you slaughter, process, package, there's a ready-made market for your product.
Thank you very much, sir. So what are the top industries or sectors where these skills is in high demand?
So in industry, there are certain industries that require the products of these broilers for their own production of goods and services. So the demand is always there.
Thank you very much, sir. Sir, what are the opportunities for students who work remotely or internationally?
There is nowhere in the world that they don't produce chicken for people to eat. People must eat. People must eat. So the opportunity is always there. Be it in Nigeria, be it in abroad, you always produce for people to eat. People need protein. People need good food. So the opportunity is always there. Both home and abroad for the students.
How can students market themselves effectively after learning this skill?
Oh, you thank God there's technology, innovation around us now that we can make use of. You can, after dressing the chicken, okay, with a sizable size, to a sizable size, and packaging, you can place it on either you use the different channel, different marketing channel, okay, all this multimedia, you can also make use of it. So when you send it out, people will see that okay, you are having this product with you, and they will connect with you and make booking. So the use of technology, the new technology innovation has helped this skill to be able to propel it.
What platforms are best for showcasing or selling the skill?
You, of course, WhatsApp. You have your, when you have your WhatsApp, when you have your, you can place your advert there, and for everybody to see it and to know where you are, and it's definitely you get the response from people.
Sir, what mistakes do students make often when trying to monetize the skill?
Okay, monetize the skill.
Yes, sir.
I don't think students should monetize the skill. I don't think they don't monetize the skill, because this is what you produce yourself that you can see, and you market yourself. So there's no way you can monetize it. You put your money down, you get your product from the hatchery, you put your money down, you get the feed, and you feed the birds, and you do all the necessary things, and at the end of the day you process it, you package it, and you sell. So there's no way you can monetize it, so you get your money back.
Thank you very much, sir. The next question is, what advice do you give students who want to scale from small jobs to a major project?
In this case, as a case study now, remember, you recall that I mentioned it earlier that you start the business from small and allow the business to grow by itself. So you can upscale the business, okay, when you know the nitty-gritty of the business. You can source for capital in order to increase the scale of the business from small to medium to large scale. So you source for, maybe you get a loan, maybe soft loan, okay, from corporate bodies, okay, and you continue your business. So as the business grows, you will be doing the repayments.
Is this skill future-proof, and how is it evolving in today's economy?
The skill is always relevant, since we've said that for our sustainability as a human, because people need to eat, people need to drink, people need to keep their body and soul together. So you need protein, you need energy, so you need to eat meat, you need to eat egg. So the business is always relevant now and in the future. So
Thank you, Doctor. The next question is, what advanced XYZ aspect of skill should students aspire to learn?
Students should be able to learn. How to formulate feed for their birds in order to reduce cost of feed, because feed takes about 75% of the total cost of the production of broiler. So if you can do plus or minus, if you can do the substitution method, and you know how to formulate your feed, it will be better for you, for the farmer. So that is one. So students should be able to learn how to manage their flock, how to maintain or security in their flock to prevent the occurrence of disease. Okay, how to maintain hygiene. Okay, and the trainee should also learn how to market their products. So one thing is to produce, another thing is to be able to market your product.
Thank you very much, sir. So how long does it take to reach mastery or expert level competence?
Yes, once you, it's easy, it's very easy. Once you start and you continue, it's a continuous process. Once you are doing it, after 8 weeks, you stop again, you settle down and you stop again. So once you are doing it, you mastering some of the do's and don'ts, and before you know it, you become an expert.
What additional courses and related skills can complement this one? What additional courses?
I have other skills that a little bit that are related to these skills. Of course, you can by extension go into layers production, whereby you'll be producing birds that are laying eggs for you and be selling your eggs. You can also venture into fishery production. You can also go into feed production, where you formulate feed for your birds and you also sell out to even get extra income for yourself.
Thank you very much, sir. Are there opportunities for students to start a business with this skill?
A lot. You have a lot of opportunity are there for the students. Yeah, if the students get to the world of work, they will see that there is a lot of opportunity for them. Okay.
What would a simple financial projection look like for a student running a small business with this skill?
Okay. Again, depends on the capacity that the student wants to start with. Okay. For instance, a day check is about 600 to 700 now, 650 to 700 naira presently. So if the student intends to have, say, 50 broilers now, okay, remove the cost of bed, talking about the cost of feed, the cost of vaccination, okay. So if you had plus or minus, students should be able to have 200,000 naira to have 50 beds. Okay, so
what would a simple financial projection look like for a student running a small business with this skill?
okay, again, depends on the capacity that the student wants to start with. Okay, for instance, a day check is about 600 to 700 now, 650 to 700 naira presently. So if the student intends to have, say, 50 broilers now, okay, remove the cost of bed, talking about the cost of feed, the cost of vaccination, okay. So if you had plus or minus, students should be able to have 200,000 naira to have 50 beds.
What is the maximum income potential for someone who becomes highly skilled?
The highly skilled, it means that the person is an expertise, has a very good expertise in this skill. Generally, if you have all things being equal, all things depending on the scale of production, if you have little or no mortality at the end of the day, you'll be able to get optimum profit on your investment.
How can students continuously improve and stay updated in this field?
By updating himself on the global method of rearing production of broilers, different methods, different invention, so students should be kept abreast of what is going on globally. Okay. So,
Doctor, what final advice would you give undergraduate students about learning and monetizing this skill?
my candid advice to our students is that they should take the training serious. Particularly this skill is what students can start now before they graduate, and they will be getting money from it, even at the backyard of their houses. Students can start raising something and be getting money. It doesn't take time. It's a daily routine practice. So students can do it.
Yes, Doctor, for the last question here is, what should students do immediately after completing your training to start earning?
All what he or she has learned during the tech skill training, and replicate it by him or herself, probably at the backyard of their houses, or get a small place. Okay, you can start with 10 broilers and start. By the time you raise them, you sell them, the money you are able to get from that, okay, use it to get another chicks and start. So, and that's how you grow it and be getting your money.
Thank you very much, sir, for honoring this interview.
You are most welcome.
Thank you very much.